BDE's map pick. And Obey had a bit of a rocky start, but they managed to bring it through eventually. We'll have a look at how that's going to go down and what we're looking at here on Consulate. Don't forget, this is BDE's map pick. Obey had their map pick of Cafe, which they won 7-3. If they win this map, then they're golden to move through into the quarterfinals.
And the thing is, obviously they'll be up against DG if they went through. And if you put those two teams against each other, this Obey looks like they would do very, very well against them.
Potentially, but we'll have a look as Dacia and Thermite ban on Consulate. Now, we've seen both of these bans on Consulate. Mm-hmm. We've never seen them together, though, so I'm very interested in how that changes up the dynamic of Obey's attacks. But we'll see the second ban from Obey is going to be the Mirror, which I'm going to guess means that BDE will either ban out the Valkyrie or the Echo.
Wow.
Although honestly, I feel like the Maestro was a big issue for BDE during their attacks.
To be fair, a lot of stuff was kind of a bit of an issue with BDE, and it was down to a lot of the skill and panache that Obey were bringing. At this point, you generally want to keep playing to your strategies. Obviously, this is the map that you wanted. They're going to take the Maestro out, and they did think about it, but you know, it wasn't just the Maestro that was causing them issues.
No, but I think it's a good ban anyway. I think on Consulate especially, there's a lot of really awkward Maestro spots that are very, very hard to take out, and generally, Echo is the bigger... he's much easier to deal with, but he has a little bit more effective utility. It's kind of like a high risk, high reward kind of thing. I wonder if Forrest is going to stick pick a Nook here, because he just teased it a little bit there.
A little bit of a tease. I mean, it's a map that can play well into it. Valkyrie are going to pretty much see consistently. Famine on the Frost is a particular decision, but I guess we'll see how that comes together. The Maverick is obviously going to be the potential of just kind of holding... angles. There is the Frost to the Echo, and there is the Glaz to the Nook.
I have a bit of a theory about what just happened there from Obey, is that Forrest wanted to play Nook, and then they're like, no, just 6th pick it, and then Abinai managed to 6th pick first, and he managed to play the Nook instead.
Is that the working
That's my theory, yeah.
You know, the thing is, it wouldn't surprise me too much. The posts about them coming into this on Twitter were generally saying, we're going to just have fun with it. They know that they've got big games coming up, and they were like, "Yep, OGA, let's have a good time with it." I'm paraphrasing there into my own words, but that's the general gist. JJ has already team killed Yito, and Yito is sad about it.
It's a sacrifice.
Oh, a blood sacrifice.
Yeah.
Well, it's Abinai's kill. I'm going to write that down in the opening.
Abinai
opening frag there.
There we go. So.
Banned skin.
Okay.
That's a noble decision.
But it is also a blood sacrifice. It is a classic strategy in Siege.
Yeah. So who knows how many mind games and tiers of mind games are actually being thrown together here. Either way, Abinai with a great opening frag there against a man during the prep phase, and we'll see how the attack comes together. They've obviously got the Lion on the board, they've got the Ash and the Nook as well. There's the possibility of pace, and a very nightmarish pace at that, and there's already bodies on the windows. Famine gets the swing against it, somehow doesn't injure the teammate there, which looks like he shot through his neck to get the frag, but apparently, again, the blood sacrifice came in handy.
Well, there you go. It's going to be evened it out, and there's already the Lion off the board as well. That's a big pick, and it looks like the overlay is the wrong way around. It's actually BDE on the defense, not Obey. If someone could change that, please.
Well, we'll leave that to them to work out as Famine finds another, gets himself a double kill, takes out Abinai, and Fozo at least drops Dax, and brings a little bit of balance back in their favor. In the meantime, they're still trying to find their way along this top floor and just get some intel about who's playing where behind the big desk and who's playing where behind the sideways desk. And just a lot of desk-based information is really what's coming in, and unfortunately not enough as he gets dropped on the upside-down rappel, and JJ finds Fozo.
Yes, now with 2v3 as well. Obey not looking too good here to move in, but they've got the big fraggers up on the board, but no hard breach and not really too much utility left remaining. It's 7 Grix's singular flashbang to try and, stun grenade to try and make his way through. Forrest does have some breach charges up as well, so he's going to be pushing through onto that projected door to see what he can do about that. Does take that Visa Stairs angle to see what's going on here. Still Echo Drones up on the board as well for BDE, and they should be able to hold all of this down.
Well, Forest is trying to find their way up, and it's generally the two big fraggers left on the table in terms of operators. Obviously, they went with a bit of a strategy, and it didn't come to fruition, and from the moment the Lion dropped and the pace was kind of lost, it's just been a matter of trying to find a way in. JJ finds another, but the Valkyrie cam gives all of Twitch away. They're going to swing into a firefight that they just can't win. And BDE, for the second time, find themselves one foot
it's the
up.
blood sacrifice.
Yeah, came through.
I think also Obey, like, they lost their Lion instantly, who they tried to play like very aggressively up into that connector window. So that's kind of like most of their strategy already gone. And then the Nook play just wasn't successful after that. I don't think Nook is the play on a top floor attack, because the only way I see you getting up there really is yellow, and it's not hard to hear someone coming up yellow, really.
Well, the thing about it, and the pick on the Maverick there, it gave me the impression that they expected a cafe as a first play. Because
Sure.
when you look at the fact that Thermite and Thatcher are off the table, you kind of go, oh, well, that's, you know, that's such a lock-off. And that's why they brought the Maverick to... Because otherwise you look at Maverick on the top floor and you think, well, where's that really useful, really? There's not too many places that you can get that's comfortable and useful on a general strategy. Especially, obviously, when you still have Habana on the board, if you want to get against the kind of quad wall.
I know this one. I know what Obey are going to do here, because they do this all the time. They're going to put the Maverick outside of the garage wall, and I've mentioned this before, and I love that they do this, but they're going to Maverick open a line on the very top of the garage wall, and then someone's going to rappel down from like the edge of the garage balcony, and they're going to have that angle going down, and then he's going to open up a Maverick line on the bottom as well, and they're going to make the whole wall soft.
Well, that's potentially what they wanted to do last time. Because otherwise, what do you really do with the Maverick on the top floor? You know, so it's not really much, unfortunately. Mozzie is getting himself some control on the middle of the floor there, and they're setting themselves up to, well, have some barbed wire on the back, and they generally can predict at this point that they're going to be fighting the front lines against the front lines. The garage wall, as you said, which is a classic Obey move to get it open. They are very good at it, even with the Thermite Thatcher board, Thermite Thatcher ban on the board, so I guess we'll see if they can find their way through comfortably, or if the Kaid and co can keep just a semblance of control.
I mean, it's not going to matter, because like with the Maverick being able to open up this entire wall, it really is just not going to matter. And yeah, there you go. Fozo's just going to do exactly that. He's going to make this entire wall soft, and it just is not going to matter whatever K8 does. There's no counter to Maverick here.
Well, he's burning his way through slow and steady, and Forrest is just going to try and offer some support. Make sure nobody tries something sneaky in the meantime. You can see the walls falling one at a time as he steadily makes his way across with his workman tool, and there you go. The electric is dancing in the air. It's going to make it a confusing jump through there, kind of like a force field, but let's hope that the players can actually make their way through and they don't suffer the same kind of Star Wars-esque fate.
It's always so worrying trying to go through an electrified air wall like that, but it doesn't do any damage to you, and you're completely fine to go through there. Abadai is going to make his way into yellow as well, and this is looking like all Obey right now. This is looking so good for them.
Well, you expect this wall to fall, really, especially, as you said, when you're against a team that has kind of found a very nice, quick way through. It's well-practiced, well-rehearsed, and, well, very effective. JJ, in the meantime, opens up the frags against Call-Out. Lions off the table, mid-lioning, and, well, now it's a matter of trying to get the body outside of Piano, who has otherwise found himself dual dug in there with the ability to smoke off his rotation. Does not matter. Abunai finds another body for his already pretty impressive tally, and, well, Grixer does the same. Brings it back to their balance as Obey find themselves in a little bit of a better position now.
Yeah, they're definitely looking much, much better to try and get this control, and as I said, I feel like just instantly, as soon as they got that wall up, it was looking like all them. But Dax is going to take Fozo off the board, but instantly just get traded out by Abadai, who finds his way actually all the way into sight. Grixer is going to try and do his best from the other side, but he's going to have to try and recover the diffuser if Obey want to do anything here. But Abadai goes to the rotate. He's on 1 HP in a dream. He can't find the kill. He gets taken down by JJ. And now it's a 2v2, but both Forrest and Grix are very low. Forrest does trade it into JJ. It's all down to Yito to try and bring this in a 1v2. Grixer will start to plant. Default cam on Bob's barrel is up, but the barricade is down on security holes. Not looking too good. Grixer plants the diffuser successfully, and this is looking beautiful for Obey right now.
such a small amount of health, but they have their positions, they have the ability to set up the crossfire, and they have to defuse it exactly where they want it. Yido's potentially going to try something aggressive on the run out here. Obviously, there's no Nomad on the board to keep any kind of control, and they're just concerned about the top floor. But now with half the diffuser time gone, and they're still rotating their way back all the way around, and you know, time is becoming more of the essence. The upside down rappel finds the initial bullets against the body, and they're going to try and long arm this diffuser and hope it doesn't get collapsed upon in time. But the feat sees reveal all, and Obey bring themselves to level pegging.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's classic Obey right there. And if BDE did their homework, which it kind of seemed like in the map bans they did, they should have known that that was going to happen, and that is how they were going to hold that. So, yeah, but it just didn't feel like BDE did have an idea about how quickly that was going to happen, because they didn't quite react. And, you know, if you do know that's going to happen, you don't use a Cade there. You don't put a Cade on that wall. You're trying to nitro it, really. So, things looking successful so far for Obey, but we all tied up at 1-1. And we'll see BDE are going to again go downstairs. I like the Montaigne here if it does stay.
Yeah, I mean, we'll obviously get, in a weird way, if it does stick, it's the slowest we'll have seen Obey play all day.
Yeah, I mean, Montaigne is actually considered like a really bad operator on Consulate normally, but I think this is one of the few opportunities where it actually might be really good, because if they can get yellow control, and the Montaigne can go in and they can push like heavy onto White Van, then he can hold that angle, and they can just plant behind him. And I think that was the big issue that Obey had, is they had control of White Van, but they didn't have control enough where they were happy to plant, because they had that kitchen rotate to constantly worry about, and Abinai was constantly fighting the guy into security office as well. Yep. So I think the Montaigne is actually a good call here, and it will be a good call from Callout.
Wondering if we're going to see BDE put a little bit more control across the top floor. Obviously, they had the smoke up there before, and JJ was able to find a fair few bodies in the hands of the Jaeger, but from that point on, when Obey generally just found their way in either way, it didn't really do a huge amount. Jewel is setting up the hard reinforcements inside the bathroom and giving themselves the possibility of being able to have some cover there, as they just allow, again, a little bit more space to play around. They'll probably have the drop down soft again to allow the rotate back downstairs and just give themselves, again, a bit of breathing room. But you've got to be able to eat a little bit more time and a little bit more information away from a team with the skill and caliber of Obey, especially, as you said, on a point that they are exceptional at pushing. Call out, wasting no time crawling in. Abunai finds the opening frag against Famine. At this point, Call out has dug in and pretended to be a vending machine, and is unfortunately out of order, no service. You're going to have to turn your way back towards the yellow stairs, and at this point, they're just going to hold that control down. They've set themselves up with this pincer in their push. Now it's just a matter of seeing if BDE can respond.
This is kind of awkward as well for Obey, because there is still that upstairs control from BDE, but Grix is going to move all the way into White Van, and he's going to take one instantly off the board. There goes Dex, and Grix has managed to find his all the way into security as well, but it is no rotate right there, as Callout's managed to move all the way in. He's going to check security as well, make sure there's no one in there, but Yito from the flank is going to find Abinai. Instant gets traded out, Grix finds one to JJ, and it's all down to Jewel to try and bring this in. He just have the hatch control in a 1v4 to try and bring this in. Only one smoke grenade remaining, but he actually does have this vertical play open for himself as well, as that SAS shotgun if he wants to break that apart. If he's a solo doing his work again as well. Geo moves all the way down, takes down Fozo with a great headshot, but unable to find another one, as Obey will take round number 3. The things are just looking beautiful for them on that downstairs attack. Obey are just one of those teams that king tricking or whatever, Thatcher ban, it just does not affect them. They're so good at mavericking.
Yeah, it's the thing about it is obviously this is, you know, when you look at these kind of bans and you look at this kind of map, you look at some of these points and you go, well, it's going to be a very hard point. And that's because you're generally looking at the default way that teams kind of go into all of this. It's like the early days of when people would kind of take out operators like Miro when Bannon came in, and some teams thrived in it because they were used to not playing without her, and some teams struggled. And this is where we're seeing Obey shine, is that they're so good with that Maverick that this kind of ban and this kind of play space just doesn't phase them. It doesn't affect them. It doesn't slow them. And they're still able to pull off these insanely quick rushes with every operator still on the board. They just get in, get control, get bodies, get the diffuser down, and get out.
Yeah, pretty much. And that is It's calculated now from Obey. I think we're kind of seeing a relaxing of that heavy rush strategy, and we're seeing a much more heavy kind of just plant-centric strategy. So, Obey now moving into, again, this console attack, which did not end too well for them last time, but I'm glad to see a big change in their lineup, in which they brought, I'm assuming maybe 4 smokes, but it could only do 3 sets of smokes, but yeah, like, this is screaming to me a console take.
Yeah, and this is a very smoky take at that. They've got the gridlocks to control the space as well in and amongst it, and this is, yeah, pure smoke grenades across the board. Capitao doubling down on that. They've got the glads for the smokes and the angle control as well, and actually going to bring the frags on the... So they're going to use the Bunai to look through the smokes and then find the frags in and amongst it. But here's the pace, and there's the opening against Famine, smashing the windows. They find the frag anyway, and they've set themselves up on the point windows to listen to that cacophony of cracking of smoke grenades.
Yeah, and they're going to have the glass to be able to hold all of that down. Jewel does manage to find Fozo, but there's just so many smokes up on the board that Obey just take aggressive control instantly. Diffuser, however, is down. And Jewel still playing very, very close, but the nade finds him! But it's not going to be the nade that kills him. Forest moves in with a double kill as Ito and Jewel both off the table. No Obey take round number 4. Insanely aggressive from them. I actually love how Forest plays this as well, where they smoke out the entirety of the site, but they also smoke out the connector so he can rappel in with the cover from the windows. He gets that aggressive control, he gets 1 kill, and he flanks all the way around to stop them from shutting down his allies. So, really, really well played there from Obey to take that aggressive early control. And we're already moving into round number 5. It feels like we were in round number 1 like a few minutes ago.
I think that's the thing about watching Obey play as well, is it's really satisfying. Like, as I said before in the previous map, obviously this is, you know, they're having a lot of fun with the play day. As you said they wanted to, and they're kind of proving that. But everything is so well tuned as a team that even when they're being like, right, all smokes this round, let's kind of go in on it. Let's do this. And it's just working every single time. And they know each other's play style very well. They know this game, obviously, very well. And it's at this point just a joy to watch them be this kind of fun and creative with their attacks and with their setups. BDE, as we've said, have been doing a fair few things right. They've been bringing a good selection of operators, they've been responding to situations well, and sometimes getting themselves down to these 1 versus 1s, 1 versus 2s. But against a team of this caliber, doing this much creativity, it's often very hard to find a response, and at that, a response that sticks.
Well, we're going to move into round number 5, and again, it looks like the same strategy coming out from Obey, although this time they've moved an IQ into the lineup, which I can't say I'm upset by. We'll see how that's going to be all moving through, but yeah, like I really like this lineup coming out from Obey. I think this is exactly what you should be doing. And just like Capitao and Jackal together, it's just like smokes galore to be coming through, as well with a combination with the glass to be able to see through those smokes, as you said. It should be a quick shutdown. I'm kind of amazed that they actually brought the gridlock out of this lineup.
I mean, I guess they thought they didn't really need it. With how quickly they were able to get this information and get the bodies and get the covers, call out instantly locks off Jewel. The smoke is off the table. They don't really need to slow the retake and the roll because they've never really been in that situation.
Abanai is going to go for a Spider-Man down, and it's going to be Forest, however, who finds the kill. Abanai hopefully to try and repel up into Spiral, but no, he's going to keep their Spider-Man, and it's going to get taken off the board. Famine and Dax both find kills of their own. BDE still playing very aggressively, and just absolutely nothing gone down. Abanai, yeah, I mean, he went for the Spider-Man, and he just got taken down for it. It's going to be Fozo and Grixer who are left to try and bring this in.
Well, at least Dax is having a good time with it all in and amongst this as well. Fozo is trying to hold the angle across the balcony as Grix is going to try and close in on the Ashe from admin side. Had a very, very good set of games, Grixer, in terms of just finding a way in and finding the bodies in and amongst it. But the Valkyrie is well aware of this movement and is just playing on the close left. It could be a pre-fire that takes this, but otherwise just waiting for any information about what's going on. And unfortunately, it did not come in. Dax with the double, cuts the man in half, and the Echo drone is causing some problems, but Fozo finds a body in and amongst it of a very bold Lesion. Has a minute on the board, has plenty of time, but it's against two pretty tough information-based operators.
Oh, but he's going to take one off the board. There goes Dax, and the Obey attack is not looking good anymore, as I was saying it. Famine does take down Fozo. BDE take the round, and yet another console defense from them, held very aggressively. And honestly, it looked like right from the get-go that BDE were going to lose because they lost their smoke instantly.
It almost looked like when they got the first kill and pre-fired, he was trying to find the door because he started sprinting at the wall, and I think he was just a couple of steps in the wrong place where he thought he was. But if he'd got the rotation there, that would have potentially been amazing, but unfortunately, spatial awareness was a little bit lacking there. Cafe, they're going to opt for as the last one, and it's a bold one.
I don't think this Blackbeard's going to stay in the lineup from call-out. I could be wrong about that. I'm really hoping I'm wrong about this. I do not see call-out play a lot of Blackbeard here, and I've seen Obey pick a Blackbeard and then sixth pick it from before, so I'm not sure what to make of this, but it looks like he stuck it. Okay, so we're going to move into round number 6. It's going to be the final attack here from Obey, and yeah, it's going to be a cafeteria and garage defense, as you were saying. This has been a very dominant set of attacks from Obey here on this garage.
Yeah, it's the thing about it is they're, as I said, they're having a lot of fun with it. They're able to change up their strategy every single round and try, you know, it's like, it's not try plan A, try plan B. It's, let's try plan E, Omega 3, run this, but we'll do this swap round.
I'm really amazed that BD have not gone to lobby for their last defense. Because
I would have expected it.
This downstairs, they've just been slaughtered on. Obey, it's not even been close, honestly. Like, they've just been completely destroyed. However, it looks like they are going to go for a bit more vertical play this time. But, I mean, they did this the last time they held here, and it just didn't work for them at all. And again, they're trying the cage strategy, but they know what's going to happen, right? Like, they can't thermite it. They've not brought a Habana. They're just going to do the same thing they have been doing. But the aggressive peaks do come out. And the yellow peak does come through as well as the console peak coming through. But Obey is smarter for it.
It wasn't actually the console peak. They smashed the windows and just did it from yellow. And they baited the attention there. And they've not been able to do enough. The Blackbeard and the Twitch suffer shoulders of damage, but otherwise they survive. And Forrest isn't quite emotionally over what's happened and is going to keep the ping. Sees the head! But they can't quite find it. The Jiggle Peaks survive and drop a shield. But Blackbeard, well, he's got the skin on and he's not quite out of this war yet as the songs continue to pump in his ears from Nam. But here is the pressure now coming from the bottom of yellow stairs. Creeping in, as we've seen Grixer do many, many times, dropping all the barbed wire to allow the pace and pressure that he's otherwise been exceptional at putting in so far. And then there is the wall open yet again.
The electrified, fortified shield here, but it's not going to do anything to you if you do walk through it. And they're looking like ready to try and get all the way in here. Drones are going to come out. There should be aggressive control early on, but actually Forrest is going to go for a nade here over the top of the white van. That should be a kill, but no! He missed with it, and they're going to find his drone as well. Those drones are going to be coming out still from Obey, and looks like Grix is going to be the other one taking control. Abadai he's got a shotgun! This man is running Twitch shotgun right now. What is happening? Fozo moves all the way through. It's going to be Dax who picks up one, but no. He's going to get traded out by Abadai, who gets his second shotgun kill, and this is looking like a disaster right now. Jewel from the hash just pick up Fozo, however, the plant is going to start to go down. Jewel is still playing around on the hash. It looks like he's going to try and rotate off, as well as JJ coming through the rotate from onto Kitchen, it looks like, as he pushes all the way up. Grixer is waiting for him there, and he's going to get shut down. Nice shot from JJ, moves all the way in. They got to know where they're coming from. It looks like Abanai is still playing close with his shotgun as well. Onto Black Car. They're going to see if he steps up and takes him down. It's a shotgun Twitch, and he shuts down 4 people with it.
A French shotgun 4K. I don't think I've ever seen that.
So there was a time, a very, very long time ago, where Elevate played in Pro League finals when England, for some reason, no one knows anymore. No, it's just a legend.
A story of legend.
He brought the Doc shotgun, and I think he got a 3 or a 4K with it. Suzaku did a great meme video about it. I remember that.
I mean, we've just seen a 4K with a French shotgun that was successful.
Yes.
And
I mean, the only 2 times I've seen it in like competitive play, it's worked. So I'm not against it.
Well, let's see how they defend Cafe as they set themselves up now on a 4-2 split. The same split they obviously had on the previous previous map to bring it to an overall 7-3, and they are looking, well, just as powerful. Going into their defenses, obviously, as well. Bringing the Frost, and they're setting up 2 of the 3. There's a lot of shields under that drop down.
This is interesting.
I'm really like, what are they building? We're gonna turn away. And
this is the phalanx strategy.
Is this what they're constructing?
I've seen it before. I've seen it before. When I played competitive and we went against a team that we were expecting to pretty heavily beat and we were just trolling, we also did the phalanx strategy. It's very effective. Very
4
effective.
shields.
4 shields. You put them down around each other, and you just all just peek around this area.
It's a marvel to see. And they're putting the
Alibis on top of it.
They've
as well.
literally made Guess Who, but made it violent.
Well, we'll see how that does work out. BDE start their attacks here on Consulate. Things not looking too good for them so far in the first half, but we'll have a look at what they want to do in their attacks. But I don't like this lineup from them. There's no hard breacher. They're going to have to do a back take.
Well, they're setting up the frost mats in the particular plant places as Abunai with the big old Ella shotgun is ready to try and hold the close quarters. Fozzo is going to put bullets towards the far side, seeing that the alibis are already finding victims. In the meantime, BD, as he said, they're going for a pretty slow close. Dax does at least get the opening frag. Takes care of Fozzo and puts some balance towards their side, but they've still got to find their way into the point.
Have they switched around their shields so they're facing the backside instead now? Because if so, that's very smart. I like that from Obey, but there we go. Breach charges are going to go ahead, and they're going to have a lot of vertical play to play with here. BDE, as Dax going to be pushing down. There's a Valkyrie camera, he's going to spot it out, and we'll have a look at what BDE want to continue to do here. I don't think that Obey have any nitros, because I'm pretty sure the Valkyrie also brought a shield here. But
it was 5 shields.
Yeah, who took call out off the board, but Grixer and Forest both finds kills of their own, and they shut down the yellow push entirely. And they should be able to retake here as well. Oh! That is unlucky timing from Jewel there as he's get taken down by Grixer. Abadai finds one, tries to push all the way up, but Forest gets taken down. Grixer trades it out, and Obey take round number 7. They're looking absolutely phenomenal here on Consulate. They don't even need nitros.
I am having such a fun time watching Obey just play. I'm at this point. I'm watching this. I'm like, what are they going to do next? Like,
despite this, call out is 1-5 right now.
I mean, are you calling out call out?
I am calling him out.
Oh, well, that's a shame. Yeo's 1-7, but against this, if I'm honest, like, what do you do? To be fair, this is something that I was kind of waiting on, if I'm honest. When I saw that they were playing a lot of these kind of strategies, I'm thinking, well, when is the Lord and Savior going to actually make his appearance in the form of Tachanka? And I'm honest, I'm surprised it's taken this long.
Nope, it's not going to be brought. It's going to be stick-picked onto a Kapkan instead. The other Spetsnaz operator for the defense is going to be brought along. It's going to be console office and meeting room defense. Oh, yeah, but he's tricked me!
He was called out! No. It was because he was called out by Dax. Dax said you won't. Dax said you won't, and at that point, how do you...
Of course. Okay,
you've got to do it.
Yeah, you've got to do it now.
Not bring
you've got to do it, yeah. Well, so, yeah, Abadai's going to stick it. He can't take that. You can't let someone from BDE talk to him like that.
No, you can't say that. You've got it, and now he's got to find a kill with it as well.
I'm wondering where he's going to set it up here. He's clearly got to go for the spawn peak, right?
Yeah.
But where do you even spawn peak with this? Maybe on, like, the Visa window? Or, like, Benches window, maybe?
I mean...
Or just set it up straight on the long desk?
Is he going to do long desk? Yeah, well, they've got...
yeah, okay. The phalanx strategy, I'm liking it,
So, setting it up... Man, if he does it behind the short desk, looking across long desk, like he's like, step into my office.
Yeah.
And the response is...
No. He's going for the spawn peak with it. This is a very late setup if he wants to go for a spawn peak with it, but no one's going to be spawning over on that south side of the map. Unfortunately for Abadai, he's not going to be able to find a kill out of that just yet. But elsewhere, again, BD bringing the same kind of weird lineup as well. Like, they have smokes in this lineup that is going to be able to do that kind of like console side push if they wanted to do it. But with the Blackbeard, I don't know. I kind of feel this being mostly an admin take, honestly.
Well, that's the weird thing about it, because for me, it's almost two different eras of taking Consular in one lineup. You have the Nomads in the gridlock to do the central side of control, but back in the day, it used to be almost consistent to get a Blackbeard, and he was in a good situation, and put him up on one of the windows to control rotations. So it's kind of a mix of the two eras, really. Forest finds the opening against Yido, and JJ finds Fozo, so brings it back. Grixis and Abunai are trying to actually get into the vans. And no, he's getting his Valkyrie camera back.
Oh my god.
And he's allowed to do this.
Yeah, I mean, BDE is like, they're all in admin right at this point, so they're not going to be able to do too much about that, but that is insane that Grixis actually just went into their spawn to recover his Valkyrie camera.
I like how Tachanka went with him as well. Just to be like, well, I don't want you to do this alone. Let me just back up. I don't want you... If we're doing a saving private Valkyrie camera mission, we've got to do this as a team. I'm not letting you do this alone.
Well, Cole's going to be wide peeking up onto long distance to see what he can do here. Goes for those pre-fires as well. We've got Forest holding it down with a Titan Killer as Grixis takes Famine off the board, but an instant trade comes out in both ways here as Forest tries to go for the wide peek but does not capitalize on it. JJ takes him down, and now it's a 2v2, but you could say Obey are in a very good position right now in terms of everything. You've even got that tanker turret set up, as you said, behind that small desk.
Yep, he's kind of wanting and waiting for them to step into his office, and his office is a very long shooting gallery, and they are popping bullets. Well, he's popping them right back. No baits and no joy as of yet, but they're going to push in close against this Gridlock, who is trying to track her way around the door. Caught in the middle almost of a rotation there and a reload, but doesn't quite find it on either of them. With 40 seconds and slivers of health across two of the operators, well, it's going to come down to a little bit of a slogging match. Tachanka comes in close and is effective. Needs to be. In the meantime, a big rotate has come round towards the opposite side, but with the diffuser, well, now down and the track's now clear and Abunai now dancing, it seems like it's going towards a 6-2.
Does seem like it, but JJ does manage to take the Valkyrie camera finally off the board and goes for a console repel instead. And Tasang lets it go on the clock. So like Abunai may be ready for a run out here, but looks like it's going to be a hot breach from JJ. But he gets run out on, and it's going to be Obey, who take round number 8 and put themselves into match and series point.
6-2. He dared. He dared to bring in the operator. He dared to do everything that he needed to do. Well, I guess we'll see how this kind of comes together on the end. Obey, there's nothing really to say at this point. Everything you've done has been, on the one hand, exceptionally entertaining, and on the other hand, I don't want this game to end. I want you to throw so I can watch a third match. I don't, but,
yeah, but you do.
At the same time, maybe do. In the meantime, BDE, yes, obviously you came through the open qualifiers. You're up against, even if we were to looking at it, you're up against a very good team that is on very good form right now, and it's always hard to kind of look past that.
We have a couple of interesting things happening here. The Vigil 6 pick onto the Warden, and then we also have a Nook being brought by BDE.
I feel like the idea of saying...
Oh my god.
I feel like the idea of saying we've got interesting things happening here
so they
so
literally,
far beyond the pale.
They literally brought the Warden just to bring the shield.
It's so far beyond the pale. This is...
I actually saw something very similar like this happen in Japanese Pro League.
Yeah.
On Coastline.
They've rebuilt a wall to... You know, they've kind of made an obstacle course on this front door.
I actually kind of like it. I kind of like this shield strategy, honestly. It does make it very easy for someone to just go in and plant behind one of the shields, however.
It's a real strat.
Yeah, a real strat.
Yeah. And,
they practiced this one in the dry runs.
This one has been in... They've dry run this loads of times. It's always been a big part of their playstyle. And there is the first body to go against them. Great take from Yido to drop Grixis.
Good night. But Forest here with it. Somehow, still getting kills in this LS shotgun, is going to be able to trade it back. JJ does go down. I'm amazed at the amount of close angles that Forest has been able to find, and he's just been able to take people off the board pretty much instantly. Carl going to go for the wide peek outside of the front door. Yito gets Delito, as we move into a 4v3. Obey looking very, very good right now to close out this matchup.
Well, there's still a couple of bodies on the board, and Warden's going for a little bit of a stroll. Fozo is playing aggressively against the windows, I say, as he gets even more aggressive, runs out and finds one. Now they've got to find their way back in. They were doubled up on the run out, but it's just Jewel who is on the top floor. 2 minutes on the board for Obey operators to get through, and then even if you do that, another, well, fair few rounds after that. So I guess we'll see how this kind of comes together, but if I'm honest, the prognosis isn't great.
Yeah, he's going to get spotted out. Jewel does find one onto Callout, however, so even in this situation, Callout cannot find more kills. This Jewel is going to be peeking out onto long desk and seeing exactly what can happen here. But Forrest is going to go for that rotate all the way through Projector, and Jewel doesn't know exactly where he is just yet. Doesn't have Diffuser either, but does have all of his utility up right now to try and do what he can. But from below, he's going to get hit out and going to get taken out. As Obey Alliance will take round number 9, and Abadai will take the round for them and the series 2-0.
Take a photo, because that is the only time you'll ever see Warden get a game-winning kill. 7-2. Obey move forward, and they're going to battle against EG on another play day in an upcoming bracket. But that's a little bit further down the line. We got some other games to get through first. That'll be on the next NA play day. But we have one more game on our roster and on our board for the rest of the night. And